a lot of depressed Packers fans. I do not know where you go from here after losing to the Broncos.
It's pretty bad.
I don't know if you're a Packers fan, what you're feeling like yesterday, today, the rest of this week, but it can't be good. It really cannot be good.
It can't be good.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast, Ball State Sports' premier sports.
Oh,
besides,
buddy, I'm not gonna let
No!
I'm not gonna let you rip it if you're not
Fail!
ripping it well.
I failed.
We're not restarting it.
I know.
You never let me re-rip it.
I'm your host, Andy Newman.
This is
and
our
this
host,
is Daniel
Andy Newman,
Keene.
and I'm Daniel Keene.
The premier sports podcast part is different.
Ball
than normal.
State's premier sports podcast.
There we go. Thank you.
Hope you guys are all doing well wherever you're listening. Andy, how you doing today?
I am depressed. I'm depressed. What? What?
We'll talk about that in a second.
What did I do?
Andy's got a suit on today because
Yeah.
he's anchoring Newslink, Indiana tonight. Newslink, Indiana.
Shout out.
Every night at 9, Monday through Thursdays, 9 p.m. Delaware County's only nightly newscast. But Andy is anchoring tonight, so he's wearing his suit. His collared shirt is monogrammed. Is monogrammed?
Monogrammed.
No, monogrammed something else.
Yeah.
And there's an M in there too.
Yeah.
We are a family-friendly podcast.
Are you even? Oh, I just.
Let's just make fun of the fact that Andy
I-
has monogrammed shirts.
My
which
grandma
actually,
got them for
that's
me
not
for
even-
graduation.
That's not even stupid. That's actually really cool. Your
Yeah.
grandma's dope. That's awesome, Andrew. Andrew, what's your middle name?
Scott.
Scott. A.S. Newman.
A.S. Newman.
A.S. Newman 2.
2 at bsu.edu.
So this is totally off topic.
Email
but,
me.
But Andrew's email is ASNewman2 at bsu.edu.
True.
When you get your email at Ball State University, they do your first name dot your last name at bsu.edu. Mine is daniel.keene at bsu.edu.
I got mine.
But,
yeah.
But if there's people who have the same name.
No, I got my. But here's the thing, I got mine back in high school. That's why mine's different like that.
What?
But before they did the normal thing, I got mine as a dual credit student, and they just kept it.
Okay, well, so time out,
Yeah.
though. Time out.
Yeah.
A.S. Newman is or first name, middle initial Newman is how they do it. So 2 means that there was another
There was
A.S.
another
Newman.
guy. Yeah, there was another.
Did you
AS.
find him?
I don't know.
There's definitely a.
It was during the time when I was in high school. So,
There's definitely
yeah.
a repository that has all the names of Ball State students. We should find it.
I know where to. We'll find it.
We'll find
Andrew.
who the other A.S.
We will
Newman
find
is.
you,
A.S. Newman.
and we will battle for who will earn
time
A.S.
out,
Newman
time out.
1.
What if the guy's like 65?
65?
Or what if the person
Well, I don't think
is
that
65?
I don't think he had. Well, maybe you know what? He could have been an older student. You're true. Well, then, bro, get ready to throw hands. It's my name.
How's
Mine.
your weekend, Andrew?
Oh, it was okay. Just going back to this. Actually, pretty all right weekend. Ball State sports took a W with football over homecoming. Notre Dame didn't play, so they won the bye week per usual. And then I had a 99% of a good time at Lucas Oil Stadium. And then the end happened. And then the end.
We'll talk
happened.
about that later.
Yeah,
But let's
but
first
otherwise,
talk
great weekend.
homecoming. Ball
Otherwise,
State
yeah,
gets
yeah.
the win on homecoming.
Yes.
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
I'm actually okay. A Ball State win's a Ball State win. It's always fun to go to
True.
a football team where the team you're watching wins. But my mom has gone to now 3 homecoming games, and before this past weekend, she had never been to a homecoming game in which Ball State won. So the back part of my mind wanted Ball State to lose because it's more funny the
It's
longer
tradition,
she goes to
yeah.
games, the more they lose. But it's all right. It was a good game, a good watch. It was actually a close game. I did see Andrew Newman there, which was pretty fun. But it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. Did you have any family come in?
No.
Okay.
No.
My family usually comes in for homecoming. That's just about it. Any other time, I go home and visit them. But that 3-hour drive, oof.
It's 3 hours? That's it?
It is. Well, it's 3 hours and 15 minutes if I drive through Ohio. And it's 3 hours and like 40 minutes if I drive through Indiana and then Michigan. 9 times out of 10, I'll drive through Ohio because it's faster. But whoop-de-doo, I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned before on this podcast. But the last time I drove through Ohio, I got pulled over, and he didn't even give me. It was one of those. He's got a Michigan license plate. We're giving him a ticket. He didn't even let me talk. He didn't even say like, "How you doing? How's your wife?" He just gave it to me. He just gave it to me. He walked up and he goes, "License registration. You're getting a ticket today. 84 and a 65." I was not going 84 and a 65. I was going 80 and a 65. Thank you very much. And he was like, "You're going to get a ticket today. Just give me this and I'll get you on your way." Give him the stuff. He comes back. I was probably parked. Like, my car was on the side of the road for less than 10 minutes. Guy was definitely trying to hit a quota. Either way, now I like to drive north into Michigan and east across to go home.
North into Michigan. How does that work?
I drive north until I get to Michigan.
And then east across?
And then east across the state.
But why would Ohio be faster? I don't understand how that would work.
Do you need a map?
Like, because...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
How would driving through Ohio be fast? It seems like you're going out of your way. No?
I go diagonally across the state of Ohio rather than going north and east.
What?
Andrew.
What?
Oh my gosh. This is making for great lunchtime talk.
Images of U.S. map. What? Where do you live again?
I live in southeastern Michigan.
Yes.
So look up Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Bryan.
No,
that's Ohio.
Bryan, Ohio.
You are. Is it Bryant?
Brighton.
Damn. I'm sorry. Zuber's. Oh, okay. Whoa. I don't think I ever realized how far Ohio was over in Michigan. I thought Michigan was kind of. I don't know. I didn't think about it. I didn't realize how far Michigan cheats over into Ohio.
Andy, the more you talk, the less we think.
I was thinking, in my mind, in my head, Michigan just sits kind of just atop of Indiana, and that's the confines of it. It's just
the majority of the southern border of Michigan is on Ohio.
Why doesn't make any sense? Well, look at that. That doesn't make what?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
I guess it's mostly Indiana.
The majority of my side, though.
Well,
so
yeah.
Right here is where I live, and I drive down, and then I cut across.
This could not be good radio.
And then you drive
or sound.
up and east. Yeah, okay.
There's no way.
Look up a map of the Midwest. We might have to cut some of this.
No.
You want to keep
it all.
7 minutes of you dumb your way around directions?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
shoot.
I do.
We have to bleep that.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Either way, let's get back to it. Andy and I are
I'm so sorry.
Andy and I are big fans of our respective teams, and our respective teams had different stuff go on. Oh, we like our states too. I love me some Michigan.
I love me some Indiana.
Michigan is the best state in the United States. Tell me I'm wrong.
Indiana.
You can't say that. You can't say.
Shout out. You can't say.
Do you guys
Michigan.
have a national park?
Yeah.
Really? What is
Indiana Dunes, baby.
Is that really? Oh, is that the one that's on the border of Lake Michigan?
Whatever. It's what is it called? What's the name of it? Tell me what it is. Oh, is it the Indiana? Is it not? It's not the Michiana Dunes. It's not the Michigan Dunes. It's the Indiana Dunes.
The Michiana Dunes.
Michiana. Yeah, South Bend.
Okay. Either way, let's talk NFL. Big NFL day today, except for one non-NFL token.
Shout out Rangers.
Texas Rangers going to the World Series. They beat the Astros.
Shout out.
Hate the Astros. Everybody hates
the Astros.
It's the same reason why everyone hates Michigan
the
right now.
Who's texting on there? Who be talking? Who be talking on the live? We're looking.
Somebody commented family friendly.
Oh, well, my bad.
Well, we've said a couple not family friendly things on our podcast so
my
far.
bad.
You're bad. My bad.
I provoked it. Clearly,
he provoked it.
I did.
Actually, let's talk about the Michigan football thing real quick, because I think we completely brushed that over last week.
What? Oh, the sign stealing stuff?
Yes.
Yes. You go. You.
So here's what happened. May or may not proved. Nothing proved. May or may not have been doing a bit of cheating.
A wee bit.
A lot
of bit.
Not Houston Astros cheating.
But cheating.
Here's the thing. So they laid it out that Michigan has a sign stealing scandal, and Michigan just suspended the guy who's like at the center of the scandal, and apparently he's bought tickets to over 100 Big Ten games in the last couple years. And honestly, hear me out. NFL teams have specific film watching for their coaches to watch the other team's signs. But also, there's so many of those darn signs, no matter how many times you watch it, you cannot figure it out. I don't think that watching other people's signs is really going to give you that much an advantage.
Why can't you? I don't understand.
Thank you.
Why can't you?
Just,
I mean, they're right there.
They're literally right there.
It's right there. Like
if we're good enough to and also, they changed their signs per game. If Nebraska is playing Rutgers, they are going to have different signs than when they're playing Michigan. So not only are you cheating, and if they're cheating and they get found guilty of cheating, I'm not going to stand by them. Like, it's whatever. I'm a fair weather Michigan fan. If they're doing bad, you don't hear me talk about them. But if you hear they're doing good, you hear me watching football. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's most Michigan fans, by the way. All due respect to the Wolverines, but like Michigan football, Michigan basketball is the heaviest fair weather fans in the entire country. There's very few fans that I think are more fair weather than Michigan football and Michigan basketball fans. That being said, non-football basketball Michigan fans are freaking awesome. Michigan soccer fans, Michigan hockey fans, absolutely amazing.
Lit.
Either way,
I don't know.
Back to my point. If they're guilty, they're guilty. I don't care. Like, it's like whatever. Give them the punishment. Ban them from the CFP. I don't like whatever. Do what you got to do. But
ban them from the college football playoff.
With the
playoffs.
We talk about playoffs.
I just hope we can win a game.
No, but
it's
like
not even that
whatever happens, it happens. Whatever. I just don't think it's that bad. Like, I don't think that's major.
Playoffs.
Okay, going over to the NFL. What was your favorite non-Lions Colts game?
That Eagles-Dolphins game was pretty much all the hype that it lived up to be. I think
Eagles-Dolphins?
Eagles-Dolphins is a Sunday night football game.
Yeah, no.
That was a great game. I wasn't able to watch a whole lot of the 1 o'clock slate or even like the 4 o'clock slate just because I was at a game.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Jags Saints on Thursday Night Football. I know we were complaining about the primetime games not being good. That wasn't horrible. Like, I did not have a bad time. Like, I watched most of that game while doing homework, and it was not that bad.
I don't think I saw a whole lot, if any. I do know about the Foster Moreau guy just fumbling the game away, and that I feel terrible for that man.
Really, really not pretty.
I
real
feel
Rico Barfield kind of move.
But again, it doesn't come down to one play.
Doesn't come down to one play,
except for when it does.
If your game has to come down to one game, you're not better than the other team. If your game has to come down to one play, you're not better than the other team.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer that if you want to prove that you're better than the other team, you beat them by a healthy dose, i.e. Michigan football versus Michigan State this past weekend. Go Wolverines, baby.
And speaking of Michigan State, they're in hot water again.
They're always in hot water.
Do you know about what I'm talking about?
Wait, which
the Jumbotron controversy?
Oh, yeah. They're just throwing up L's all over the year.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know about that, Michigan State, I guess during like timeout, I would assume, TV timeout, was trying to throw up some content on the video board for the fans to enjoy. And they
did not enjoy it.
I think they grabbed a video maybe from YouTube or something of just like generic like trivia facts or whatever. And one of them was, where is Hitler from? And threw up a picture of Adolf Hitler on their video board during the game. How does one... Why? And then obviously everyone's just like, oh, it was a third party. We didn't know.
But nobody,
it's not our fault.
Did they preview it?
No.
Isn't it your job to preview stuff before you put it on the Jumbotron? I've actually worked. I worked for... It's called Chirp Vision here at Ball State.
Did you work for Chirp Vision?
I did work for Chirp Vision.
You did?
My entire freshman year. We talked about this.
Really?
Basically, they broadcast games onto either the Jumbotron or the video board at Worthen Arena or Schumann Stadium, the football.
What did you do?
I did camera work. I was a cam op.
Really? That's crazy.
So basically, yeah, I worked. Yeah, that's why I have like more of a broadcast background on my resume right now. Either way. we would be responsible for like the fan cams or like the guitar or the smile or whatever. I would have to like find people in the crowd and do stuff like that. When it came to like Ball State football has like the helmet toss or like find the football in the helmet. It's always number 2. Literally, they use the same video every time. It's always number 2.
Do they?
Yeah, they put the football under number 2 and then they spin it around a couple times and then it's number 2.
It's always number 2?
It's never been not number 2.
Oh.
Because they use the same video every time.
Oh.
I
have never noticed.
That's my secret of the industry today. But with it, when it comes to like video board stuff, when they're playing videos, everything has to get proofed by the TD. So somebody didn't proof it, and that happened. Either way, Michigan football, really good. Michigan State, bad. Michigan State, bad at everything non-football related as well.
I agree.
Just a horrible institution all around. Actually, sorry.
Shout out.
Sorry. States News up in Lansing does amazing work. Their student newspaper is actually one of the best in the nation.
I'm sure the students are nice sometimes, I would assume.
No, Michigan State fans are actually... their student population is historically pretty mean.
Well, shout out...
States
Shout
News.
out Eastern Michigan.
Okay.
You suck.
Well, all right. Either way, back to the NFL slate of games. Jags was good. That was probably my favorite game. Vikings 49ers.
Really? Oh, yeah, I guess it was actually a pretty good game.
I'm never a big fan of Vikings like doing that.
What was that, though?
I don't like NFC.
Why?
I don't like NFC North teams winning, but the Vikings winning was pretty good. Outside of that, Brandon Staley's getting fired, right? Chargers head coach. He's getting fired.
Well, with that Vikings win, though, I want to dive in a little bit before we get to Brandon Staley. I want to dive in a little bit to the fact that what is Brock Purdy, the lens? People are calling it the Linsanity run of Brock Purdy, and the fact that it is finally over. Is this guy not for real? Like,
okay, he was 21 of 30 for 272 yards and a touchdown.
Well,
the interceptions
he choked away that game hard.
The interceptions weren't great, but at the end of the day, he's a second-year quarterback. You cannot expect him to be an MVP caliber player.
I mean, he was playing like one.
Yeah, he's playing well. I'm not saying he isn't playing well. But
are you watching soccer at the moment or highlights?
When am I not watching soccer?
I don't know.
Arsenal's playing Sevilla. I have to have it on.
Either
way. Brock Purdy is not like this is bad. This is an overreaction.
Yeah.
Do not overreact to Brock Purdy. Guy's still good.
Okay. All right.
This isn't Drew Lock, okay?
Yeah.
This is Brock Purdy.
I think there was and then also the Vikings actually doing pretty well against I still think that this 49ers squad is one of the best teams in the NFL. I still think so, even after 2 pretty bad losses. I mean, the Vikings actually did relatively well without their best player by far, J-Jeff, not even on the field. Still, and Kirk Cousins in primetime. Primetime Kirk with no J-Jeff beat the 49ers.
He's a different person.
He is
a different person.
But it worked.
Turns into Pat Mahomes, man.
But it worked.
But then any other give Kirk Cousins a 1 p.m. slate. What? It's bad. All right.
But yeah, no, I think that was an interesting game. And then there's a lot of other kind of weird games. I think
Steelers-Rams was kind of weird. Giants-Commanders was good.
Steelers-Rams should have been an absolute Rams W. Brett Maher, again, choked away the game. Missed 2 field goals.
Pats over Bills. How did that go? How did that go under the radar?
That's the crazy one.
Mac Jones,
that's
272, 2 touchdowns, 25 of 30. Kendrick Bourne just came alive.
That's crazy. That is definitely, I would say, the one.
That's such an enigma of an NFL score.
And the Bills even went down and just almost won the game. They had a game-winning drive, and I just felt all right, well, the Patriots are screwed. They tried, and then Patriots came down and Mike Gesicki grittied all over everybody again. Imagine getting grittied on
by Mike Gesicki.
The Patriots had no reason to win this game.
Nope, and they do.
None.
Whatever. You know what it is. It's Bill Belichick.
And the Seahawks taking dubs over the Cards. Nothing crazy there. Packers. A lot of depressed Packers fans.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Monday.
They can stay sad.
A lot of depressed Packers fans. I do not know where you go from here after losing to the Broncos.
It's pretty bad.
That is just
pretty bad. Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
That is no what? He's not on either of those teams.
No, it's just because like Nathaniel Hackett went from Green Bay to Broncos, and then he left, and then the Broncos got revenge. I don't know.
Well, he was on both of those teams.
Yeah, it's the Nathaniel Hackett Bowl.
Without Nathaniel Hackett, yes.
Yeah, you win some, you lose.
Sure. I don't know. It's just I don't know if you're a Packers fan what you're feeling like yesterday, today, the rest of this week, but it can't be good.
No,
it really cannot be
it
good.
Can't be good.
Because that is just
I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about Jordan Love maybe being the guy. He's not the guy.
No.
2-4. It's just ugly look for the Pack. You know, go Pack, go. Tank for somebody better.
Go Pack, go away. They're not
go
going.
Go Pack, go away.
Go Pack,
go back
away.
home. Go pack your things. And
go
pack.
Home. Pack your bags. You're not going to Las Vegas. It's not happening.
Give me a 30-second soapbox to stand on to talk Lions Ravens. Here's the thing. It's real good to be punched in the mouth during the regular season rather than getting punched in the mouth in the postseason.
As the man, the myth, Bob Kravitz said, the 49ers that one year that they won the Super Bowl with Steve Young, they lost by like 40.
Blowout loss. Okay? Yeah. You know, everybody needs a blowout loss.
Happens.
Lions, like, whatever. Now we're going to be 15-2. You know, you can't complain. You can't complain.
Are you still soapboxing here?
Yeah. In terms, Jahmyr Gibbs had a good day. He looked good. 68 yards.
Where's D-Mon?
1 touchdown.
Is he still hurt?
Monty's still hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 102 yards. You know, it's ugly. You know, because going into this game, I think it was like 15 games that the Lions have scored 20 points or more. But the Ravens looked good. I think if we're talking teams that are going to fly under the radar and like sneak into the playoffs or sneak into a deep AFC run, it's the Ravens. Lamar Jackson was really good. 357 yards, 3 touchdowns. In addition to that, 36 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground.
Every time anyone starts to doubt Lamar Jackson,
anytime anybody starts to say negative things about Lamar Jackson,
bro pulls up out of nowhere.
And it wasn't run first Lamar Jackson that we saw as MVP year. It was Lamar Jackson
dropping dimes,
dropping back, staying in the pocket, throwing big balls. It was a really good performance from Lamar Jackson. Actually, such a good performance that I traded away Lamar Jackson a couple weeks ago. I traded back for him in my fantasy league.
Wow.
Well, he went for like 45 points.
Well, yeah.
No, I want him really bad. Also, I traded for Russell Wilson thinking that Russell Wilson would be a more consistent passer than Lamar Jackson, and I don't know what planet I'm on, but he had 12 points again.
I dropped Kareem Hunt.
I'm so bad at fantasy football. I am so bad at fantasy football that I'm definitely going to have to do our punishment at the end of the year. I know we were planning on talking about this later in the show, but let's talk about it now.
Okay, hold on. Before that.
Well, we're going to talk Colts after. I want
to talk more Lions, though.
You want to talk more Lions? Yeah. I don't want to talk more Lions.
I know you don't. Daniel, at one point in time, while I was sitting in my seats at the Colts game, he texted me, it looks like the Lions are playing like a high school football team out there. And looks like the Ravens are absolutely shredding a high school football team out there. What happened to the kneecaps? I don't know. I drank too much of the Kool-Aid, and you caused me to drink all this Kool-Aid, and I lost $10 to Dylan Selke. I'm never going to sports bet again. That's it. Why?
So here's exactly some of the correspondence between Andrew Newman and I. At 1:36 p.m. on Sunday, I am not having a good time right now, I said. Andrew goes, am I going to lose $10? I am. Damn. I said, nah, it's good. We are going for some kneecaps. And he said, please start doing that. And I said, okay. And then 20 minutes later, actually not 20 minutes later, 9 minutes later, I said, I hate it here. And he said, I made a mistake drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
I'm never betting again.
Never.
I said some things that I can't say out loud because we are a family-friendly podcast. A lot of words that are expressive in vocabulary were said.
Good.
Then I said it legit looks like the Ravens are playing a high school team right now. Yep. I don't know if you're watching, but that's a lucky break. I don't even know what I was talking about. And then I said, my mom just texted me, do they know our plays or something?
It was bad.
It wasn't pretty.
It was bad.
And then
it was bad.
It was ugly. And then I texted him later in the afternoon, actually 12:25 in the morning.
Yeah.
On Monday morning, and said, I am at serious risk for a milk mile in my fantasy football league. My
Speaking
fantasy
of that,
football
yeah.
league's punishment this year is the milk mile, which
That is crazy.
chug a half gallon of milk and run a mile. You can also see, in terms of like fantasy football punishments, one of them is also the beer mile. Those 21 and older can participate in the beer mile, but it's run a mile, and every quarter mile, so you run it around a track, and every quarter mile you drink a can of beer or you shotgun a beer or something. So my team is going to make me do a beer mile. I think it's a beer mile.
Drunk
but,
mile.
You know, I've gotten a lot.
Milk mile, you mean?
What did I say? Beer mile?
Beer mile, yeah.
Yeah, no, I will not be doing. Well, actually, it's in like February, so technically I could do a beer mile. I will be 21.
I would not.
I
would not
still
suggest
wouldn't.
that.
Still wouldn't. I still wouldn't do it. Either way,
Milk mile for you seems not as bad as it would be for others.
What do you mean? Because it's a mile, or because you think I drink a lot of milk?
Because it's a mile.
Yeah, the mile's not.
I do drink a lot of milk, though.
Yeah, you drink a lot of milk. My
I'm a big
roommate
milk
drinks glasses of milk.
I do.
Just glasses of milk plain?
Yeah.
With what? Dinner?
Yeah.
That's weird.
My family will have steak. I'll have a glass of milk. Yeah. I think we've talked about this before.
There's something wrong with you.
We've talked about this.
There's something.
We've talked about this before.
We're not. I don't,
Tacos, taco night, milk.
Why?
Pork chop, milk.
Why? Like
hamburgers.
Is it like
milk?
Is it like cleansing your palate? Or are you just
I don't know,
sociopathic?
I like milk.
This is stupid.
I like milk.
Have you seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Milk steak. That's what you like. You
I
like milk steak?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Charlie's milk steak.
Charlie
yes.
boils his milk.
Yes.
And then puts steak in it. Milk steak.
Milk steak.
This is weird. This is weird. This is
wouldn't
weird.
do that necessarily.
Either way, yeah, I've been running a lot recently, so the mile is not going to be an issue. I can run a sub 7-minute mile if I really tried. But if you drink a gallon of milk before it, you might not be able to run a 7-minute mile.
One would probably not. But one segment that Dan wanted to do a little bit is talk about some of the worst fantasy football punishments.
Well, the best
we've heard about.
the
best,
worst.
Best
so,
worst.
I'll go up first. This is actually from sportingnews.com.
All right.
I have a couple in my head, but they were all in this article, so I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Number one up, get a tattoo or piercing.
No.
Some say you have to get a tattoo or piercing. Other leagues say the league gets to pick your tattoo or piercing.
Absolutely not.
That's crazy.
I would not sign up for that league.
Yep.
No.
Pretty bad.
Absolutely not. One of mine. This is an oldie. I don't know if this is an oldie. This is actually relatively new. Is a cage. So you stick a man in a cage. I don't know how clothed this individual has to be. I do believe it's not. They're clothed in some fashion. And the individuals that are in the league can put whatever substance they want on this individual.
Milk.
I do believe I remember my friend Gary Wells. He was in a league, or Brew. I don't know. Some one of those guys was in a league where they did the cage, and someone put milk outside of their house for months in preparation for this punishment. Like 5 months, like literally, like prepared the milk just for this punishment. What are you looking at?
Somebody tagged me in a post. I had to watch it.
Why?
It wasn't funny. It was not funny at all.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So that is just horrid. So I think you just have to stay there for like 10 minutes, just in the cage, while people just pour stuff on you.
Okay, that's very similar to hazing.
And then you get like hosed off with a hose.
Yep, I'd lean away from that. I would not sign up for a league in which that's the punishment, but that is pretty crazy.
It's wild.
My second one up is play the U.S. Open qualifier. Now, we all think we're good at golf. This is a real put up or shut up moment.
What's up?
You have to play a U.S. Open qualifier.
What does that mean?
So the U.S. Open, the golf open, you have to play it.
You can do that?
You have to, yeah.
How do you do that?
There's qualifiers all the time. I mean, you can qualify pretty much anywhere for a U.S. Open.
Why is that like a punishment? How is that a punishment?
Because you're playing against people who are actually trying to make the U.S. Open.
So?
Who are actually
so you
good
pissed
enough.
Them off. You pissed them off.
They're actually good enough to be in the U.S. Open or like to challenge for a U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And you play like you play. So in this example, the guy played a U.S. Open qualifier and he shot 112. 112, and the par was 75.
Wow.
So he shot almost 40 over.
Wow.
So
that is bad.
Yeah.
My next one I do believe, and I know this actually for a fact. My friend Jacob Booth did this with one of his leagues. It's called Impractical Jokers. If anyone is unaware of what that is, the Impractical Jokers is a TV show on True TV, starring Joe Gatto. Well, actually not anymore. Sorry, starring Salvatore Volcano, Brian Q. Quinn, and James Murray as a group of friends that just have like a little earpiece in their ear. And they go out and they their friends are back in like a studio or like a little like room or whatever, and they tell them what to do in front of people. So they have to say what their friends tell them to say, and if they can't do it, then they lose and they get punished. Anyway, so this punishment would entail you would be going into like a mall, which is where Booth did it. I think he threw in like an AirPod or whatever, and his buddies were up on like the second level and were watching him, and you had to do whatever they say, and say whatever they told you to say as well. And that just sounds like an absolutely terrible idea. I would not wish to participate in that at all. I mean, especially when there's not like a, actually, you've been on Impractical Jokers. It's just like, I'm just an idiot instead. There's no backing. And people be scary, Daniel. People be scary.
That's pretty crazy.
People be scary.
My final one.
Okay.
And I actually pretty like this one's pretty good. It's called the Waffle House Marathon. You have to spend 24 hours.
I've heard this at IHOP as well.
Yeah, IHOP, Waffle House, wherever they serve pancakes, pretty much. You have to go there, and you have to spend 24 hours there. Except every pancake you eat is 1 hour off your sentence.
Yes.
So if you sit down and you eat 24 pancakes, you can leave. But it's not really possible to eat 24 pancakes.
Oh, I could eat. Probably not.
I could eat maybe 10.
I don't know how.
Like if I fasted the entire day before.
I don't know how long I would be there. I'd be really interested. I think I could. I actually would like to try that one. But I wouldn't like to. But if I had to get one, that would be the one I'd want to get.
There are some that are good, like run a marathon or
no.
Try to participate in the NFL Combine.
Also, no. What?
Beer miles on here. Picking up the tab. Everybody goes to a bar for the night, and they have to pick up the tab. But, yeah,
Oops.
Nothing crazy. What's your final one?
All right, so I have two more. I just thought of this just because it kind of jogged my memory a little bit. Buying a plane ticket to a random city that like has nobody.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that. All you have to like fly to the city.
Yeah, like
and immediately
like
step
somewhere
out.
and nowhere, Nebraska. I was gonna say another word, but again, friendly podcast. But yeah, and somewhere in nowhere, Nebraska, and you just gotta like be there for the day. That just sounds horrendous.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that as well.
No.
No, it's not even be there for the day though. You
is
fly
it a
there.
ticket?
You fly there. You
Yeah.
step off the plane. You walk out of the airport, and then you walk right back in and fly back. That's the point. The point is that you're flying somewhere, but you can't spend any time there.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like you just get bored by just like sitting around in like a dusty old town for a day.
No, I feel like you can find anything fun to do in any town.
Maybe.
And what's your final one? I think this is the one you're.
Yeah, so this is the one that my league is employing this year. We've had punishments for the past couple years, and it never seems to work. So maybe this year it'll stick. We'll see. And if it doesn't this year, then I'm just axing the punishment entirely because no one's going to do it. So who cares? Taking the SAT. The loser of our league in the regular season, I do believe it is the regular season, has to retake the SAT, and if they do not score for no reason, I mean, clearly it's just you're just wasting your time. This is just a pointless endeavor. If you do not score within 300 points of your original high school score, you will have to take it again.
What was your SAT score in high school?
1,300.
Mine was it 1240 maybe?
I don't
know. I don't really remember. Yeah. I remember like us thinking it was really important that you did really well on the SAT. And then when I applied for college, they were test optional, so you didn't actually have to submit your SAT score.
Yeah.
So did it really matter? Did it not really matter?
Is that Daniel Ricci up in there? I see his profile picture.
Daniel Ricci.
See what Daniel has to say. I want Daniel's opinions on here. What do you say?
Daniel Ricci said, "Bruh is taking the SAT this year."
I'm not. Dude,
are you at risk at taking the SAT?
Actually, I'm 4-3, Dan. I am right behind you, and I'm coming for you this week. and I'm beating Connor this week, and I'm not taking the SAT. You know who's taking the SAT? Ethan Brubaker. His team is straight trash.
Oh, wait.
Straight up garbage. What's up?
He said Brew,
Oh,
not
there
bruh.
we go.
Okay,
Not bruh.
Brubaker is
Yeah, okay, so we are on the same page. Brube is screwed.
Okay, so
Brube's team is terrible.
I am actually at serious risk of taking the milk mile.
Brube had the first pick, and he's going to get the
Jeez, I'm sitting 12th in my league right now at 4-10. I'm on six straight losses.
Yeah.
My league does you get one win if you beat your opponent. You get the second win if you beat the league median in points.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I'm 4-10. I'm tied for 12th with another guy who's 3 guys who are 4-10, and then the guy in fourth is 2-12. So, but here's what my league does. I can't find it right now, but basically we do like a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket, and if you score higher than the person you play in the loser's bracket, you're out and you don't have to play anymore. But if you score the lowest in the game, you move on to the next round of the loser's bracket.
Yeah.
And whoever has the lowest points at the very end, it's like a reverse playoff.
We've done the losers bracket before, and it just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I really hope I don't have to run the milk mile, man.
But Brube, yes,
I'm gonna literally
Brube is 100%.
If I'm in the losers
SAT.
If I'm in the losers bracket, call it collusion or whatever. People who are already out of the playoff bracket, like who are like lost in the playoffs of the winners bracket or won in the losers bracket, I'm gonna like pay them money to trade me players.
I just don't do that.
Wait, actually, I think trading turns off. Wait, timeout.
Yes, there's a trade.
I wasn't
deadline.
actually going to do that.
There's
I'm
a
a
trade
good sport,
deadline.
but also there's a trade deadline.
Yes, but don't do that.
I wouldn't.
I
would really want to, but I wouldn't.
If we go back in the history of my fantasy football league, there's some disputed championships. There's some asterisk championships.
Really?
Because some guys did pay for players in trades. But then again, this was like 8th grade.
I want to get into a dynasty league.
I don't know.
For those unaware, dynasty league. So like every year, your fantasy football league,
you got to get a good group of guys.
Yeah, every year your fantasy football league starts at square one. Like you have no players, you draft your players.
Yep.
A dynasty league is like an actual NFL franchise. Like if I have Devontae Adams this year, he's still on my roster next year, and then we just like redraft new players.
And for our listeners who are slightly unaware of what even fantasy football is, do you want to break it down just a tad? A little bit.
It's fake football. So like
yes.
I'm not going to break down like PPR or anything like that.
No, that's just little points per reception.
Yeah, basically you draft actual football players.
Yep.
And they get points for your team based on how they do in real life.
Yes, based on their stats.
Like touchdowns, receptions. Yep. If they fumble the ball, it's like negative points. If they throw
how
an
many
interception,
yards they run.
It's like yards.
Yep.
And then you compete against other people's fake football teams made up of different players. Like you have different players from all over the league. You don't have to pick one team. It would be interesting if you started a dynasty league and your dynasty league started with the roster of one NFL team.
But there's some teams that are just way better than other teams, though.
That's
I don't
know.
Well,
if you have an 8-person.
Like imagine
if you have an
someone gets the Chiefs and someone gets the Jags.
But if you
not the Jags, like the Colts.
If you have an 8-person team, I think there's 8 teams in the NFL that have good enough rosters to start a dynasty league.
Whoever gets the Chiefs wins, though.
So what you do is like whoever gets the Eagles wins. Are you kidding me? Jalen Hurts, DeAndre Swift,
Travis Kelce,
AJ Brown,
Patrick Mahomes.
You got
Isaiah
2.
Pacheco.
Pacheco doesn't go for more than a dozen a week.
Okay. Yeah.
The if we're talking strictly
or the Niners.
The Niners
Debo,
would be good.
Christian McCaffrey,
Brock Purdy on occasion,
George Kittle,
Brandon Ayuk.
Yes.
What
a team.
They're good. Back to real life football. Andrew's got to soapbox about his Colts for a minute, and I have some differing opinions.
You have wrong opinions.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
You have wrong opinions. Literally no one in the NFL is agreeing. No one in the NFL community agrees with you that these aren't bogus calls. For those who are fans of the Colts, watch the Colts game, know about what's happened. It was depressing. The Colts had a fantastic game. It was great back and forth. And to see it come down to the end and lose like this was a travesty for the game of football, for the Indianapolis Colts, for the state of Indiana, for the country. It was for the world. For the Milky Way galaxy, this was a travesty. And I will not stand for it. and the Colts won't stand for it. They've already petitioned the league about it. I don't know what that's going to accomplish. Probably nothing. It will accomplish nothing. But on the last couple plays of in the last waning minutes of the game, Cleveland Browns had a fumble. DeForest Buckner recovered the ball. Game over. Bogus legal contact penalty against the Indianapolis Colts on Amari Cooper. Go back and look at it. Amari Cooper stiff arms the guy, and he gets called for illegal contact. The Colts player who got stiff armed gets called for illegal contact.
I'm listening.
So they go down to the 4, and then there's a completely uncatchable ball to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Way out of the end zone, hits a security guard in the face. Like, there's no way in the world Donovan Peoples-Jones climbs the ladder 10 feet in the air and grabs that ball and comes down with 2 guys on him in the end zone. Uncatchable ball. Pass interference. And, okay, by the way, if you get if it's uncatchable, pass interference cannot be called. So it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But they called it pass interference. They go down there. We stop them on 3 plays. They're on the ball. Kareem Hunt 1 time on 4th down. They win the game. And then Gardner Minshew walks out there ready to shock the world with 15 seconds left, and then he just sucks. Case in point, the entire NFL community is mad. Everybody's outraged. They're well aware that this was an absolute hosing that the Colts received. And what was going to be a classic game for the Indianapolis Colts, we brought out our Indiana Knights uniforms at 1 p.m. Just a great idea. Because we have no primetime games. So we have one prime. Do you consider 9? No, that's not primetime. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, look, you're just on your phone. You don't even care.
I'm listening. I promise to you I'm listening.
I know.
I'm just letting you go because I'm waiting for my piece because anything you have said has not changed my mind.
You have seen everyone completely agrees that these were 2 terrible calls. They were terrible. They were bad. And they're the reason we lost.
Am I good to go?
Continue.
Referees are human.
Yes, I get it.
When a player throws an interception, we do not try to burn him to the ground.
No.
When a referee misses a call, we should not have to burn him to the ground. I do believe that if a referee makes a bad call, there should be a fine, there should be a suspension.
Yes.
There should be something that monitors the quality, like the quality assurance of NFL referees. Don't say, my turn.
No.
It's my turn.
Fine.
It is my turn.
Fine.
A referee.
It is my turn to speak.
A referee will never alter the outcome of a football game.
Whoa.
Because it is one play. If you need one, we said this at the top of the hour.
I did.
If you need one play to win a football game, you did not beat the other team soundly. You need to beat the team so soundly or be so much better statistically, tactically, physically than the other team that you do not need one play to hinge on the win or the loss of your game.
You know, I completely changed my mind. One play can make is a whole game.
You're going to say Nola no call?
Yeah.
No.
Nola no call.
No. They could have put the way.
Brock Purdy last night fumbled the game away. That Foster Moreau, never mind. I'm throwing you back under the bus, buddy. It's your fault. It's your fault, man.
I'm just saying, you should not focus
Brett
on...
Brett Favre in the 2009 NFC Championship. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
One play can alter a game. It cannot decide a game.
It was bad.
It was
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a great look.
No.
I'm not saying it's a bad call.
Why can't New York call in and say, "Hey, this is bad. Let's change it."
I'm not saying it. I don't know. That's something that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation than making a bad call. I think if we make a bad call, it's like whatever. But at the same time, yes, the NFL should be a little bit harsher on the referees. There should be suspensions or fines or
something.
Abilities to replay call. But yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't think it's that deep. But honestly, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm gonna blow him up on this podcast. Has Zach Carter been on this show yet?
Yes. He was literally our only guest so far this season.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yes.
Either way, I'm putting Zach Carter on blast here.
What? What do we got?
So Sunday at 3:38 p.m., he texts our group chat, "I will not stand for any Alec Pierce slander."
Oh, I'm slandering him still.
And Elijah Poe goes, it was one play, man. And Zach goes, he had multiple catches today. And Eli replies to it and goes, he had 3 catches today.
Dude is
later
bad.
in the day, Sunday at 4:47 p.m. Game's over by now if you can't tell. Zach texts our group chat, I'm literally about to punch a TV right now. I'm legit done with football. I'm supposed to do an interview in 10 minutes, and I might delay it.
What?
Kyle goes, bad. No, do not do that. I text, oh my gosh, Zach, that's a really bad look. Don't do that. And he goes, that's how pissed I am right now. And then I said, very calmly, you invest a little too much of your emotion into football fandom, I fear. And he goes, brother, if that was the Lions, you wouldn't shut the hell up. And I said,
true.
And then he had a typo in his text, so I just texted the typo and laughed. He goes, I'm sick of NFL refs ruining games. Was literally a great game until the
very end.
No, I just can't say that word. Blank zebras had to show power. Blank the blanking NFL. And I responded to his Lions comment, and I said, would I? Yeah, we got our butts beat on Sunday afternoon, and it sucks.
Bad.
And it really sucks. But c'est la vie, man. Just move on.
No.
It's over. It's whatever.
No.
He said another thing that I can't say on this show. And then he said, you didn't get, in response to my Lions comment, he said, you didn't get blanked over by the refs. Your team just played really bad. Ours actually showed up for the most part. And Kyle said, why are you so mad? And Zach goes, you're not really mad right now? I sent a couple gifts to make fun of him. It's more fun when he's already upset. It just keeps going. It keeps going for at least like 25.
Oh my God,
it goes like 25 minutes worth of that. And it's just really funny to see stuff like that. It's just fun.
I sat there kind of just in silence for a little bit.
Yeah.
And and then I forgot my Indiana Nights cup that I paid souvenir dollars for. I forgot. I specifically paid more money for my Indiana Nights Colts cup, and I left it at the stadium.
That sucks.
I know.
You could probably go back and be like, hey, I left this.
I low-key...
Does Lucas Oil Stadium have a lost and found?
No, but
that would be...
It's
wait,
just
time
a
out.
Colts cup, though.
That would
it's
be...
like,
no, well, but hear me out, though. That
Yeah.
would be an insane story. An NFL team's lost and found room. Imagine.
That'd be cool. What do they got?
I might be hopping on that.
What do we got? Now that's...
I'm calling dibs. I'm here first. Whatever.
We just created the story of your career later in life.
Later
right
in
now.
life. Why don't I just do
right
it now?
Call up Lucas.
No time like the present.
All right, we'll call up Lucas Oil.
Oh,
see if
did
I
you
can
hear
get my
about
cup
that?
back.
Did you hear about the Browns player whose sister gave birth at Lucas Oil
Anna
Stadium?
Chalker did a story about it, and it got put on CNN News Source.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Go Anna Chalker, but also...
David Bell, former Purdue grad, former Warren Central grad from the Indianapolis area, came back for the Browns game, and his cousin came to watch him play at Lucas Oil and had her kid in the blue medical tent. Crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Wait, in like the medical tent on the field?
Supposedly, yes. Or something like that. That's what I heard.
Oh, that just goes crazy.
Yeah.
We're nearing the 50-minute mark, so we're going to push our next segment to next week.
What is it?
It's next week. It's the trade deadline isn't this weekend. The
Oh,
trade
yeah.
deadline's in a
We'll
little
talk
while.
later.
So we have a little bit of time, but we're going to review.
Mrs. Keene, we will talk
Mackenzie,
about it.
we will get to it.
We will do it.
We will get to it.
We will do it.
Yeah, we got made fun of at the game because apparently we don't.
We bring things up. We already talked about this.
We've actually talked about this on another
We didn't talk
episode.
about it in person. See, we're bringing it up.
Bringing
all
it up.
times. We're
Look at us
all
go.
times.
Look at us
Let's
go.
get
Look at us go. Come on.
All right.
Either way, next week we are going to break down the top trade targets before the NFL deadline.
Yes.
I have an opinion about who the Lions should trade for. I have a couple opinions.
Jerry Jeudy.
No.
Probably not.
Max Crosby.
Whoa.
With that, we'll see you guys here at 2 p.m. next Tuesday on our live
bites the kneecaps, I know.
knuckleheads.sportspod. You can follow us on Twitter at UK Sports Pod. It's something.
It's
look
not
up,
even
look
Twitter.
up
It's
Underqualified
not Twitter.
Knuckleheads. Oh,
It's
X.
X.
Oh my gosh, that's so stupid.
Follow us on X at
you can catch our
I have no
podcast
clue.
on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your shows. Thank you all for joining us, and take the bus.
Take the bus to work. Feel that fire in your gut, and we will see
you
you
next week.
at another time.
At
That's not today.
Next week.
Next week.